You want revenge? Show me.
Yo, what's up everybody? It's Grandmaster Bushido Brown and welcome back to the Dojo. My boss tutorial guide where I go through and teach you how to defeat every boss in Sifu. Do me a favor, if this video helps you out in any kind of way, hit that like button. Also subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment for engagement. I'm making these videos specifically so I can help out people that's having a hard time with the game or having a hard time dealing with the bosses. Alright, so with that being said, let's get into it. The next boss that you have to defeat is going to be kind of a problem. This was when my mantle got tested. The second boss, Sean, the fighter, literally beat my ass until I was like 55. So this is going to be your first test. Now that I've gotten really good at the game, I look back at it, I'm just like, dang, this dude went really all that hard. He only has one thing that messes with you quite badly, and I'm going to explain exactly what that is when we get into the video. So let's go ahead and get into it.
So Sean is not a difficult boss at all. Like, you just got to remember a couple of key things about this guy. And one of the things you should purchase and permanently own is a 3-hit combo. It's a thrust kick, down kick, and once your character's foot touches back down on the ground, you press the heavy attack button one more time and you'll do a roundhouse. That is one of the main keys to beating Sean, because what it does is it's a quick combo, and when he messes up his moves, you can throw that out. When you roundhouse him, you're gonna knock him on the ground instantly. Then you can get 2 punches off and reset the fight. So let's go ahead and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So this is Sean right here. When you first come in here, you go through a little cutscene, of course, but then he, just like the botanist, he straight up does a mad dash at you. And when he does it, most of the time when he dashes at you like that, he's gonna come in for a side bump. Then he's gonna come in with an overhead, downward like pole slash, I guess. I guess that'd be the way to describe it. Then he comes in with a horizontal. Both of those can be avoided by just doing down weaves. And that last one right there is a 4-hit combo. So it's a shoulder bump. Then he's going to do a downward smash followed up by a horizontal twirl, right? And then he's going to do a upward slash with his pole. All of these moves can be avoided pretty easily. You just have to get the timing down. None of them are low moves, so you don't have to worry about getting swept or anything like that. All you got to do is do the regular downward weave to avoid these. They're very simple to do. And after he misses with this, because this actual move right here, you see how his hand's glowing? This is actually a structure strong move. So after he misses with this, you can get a really good punish in on him. I would recommend when you come in here, you can bring in this staff right here that you get from defeating the chick outside. But also along the walls back here, on the right and left side, there's a bunch of bow staffs. So when you come in here, he actually comes dashing at you. Usually what I like to do if I don't have this staff right here when I come in here is I'll run away from him. I'll grab that pole over there and then I'll run back to the center of the stage and reset myself. Just so, while I'm over there, he doesn't hit me or anything, because he sprints at you and sometimes he will catch you off guard if you're not really quick about grabbing the staffs over there. All right, so let's keep going. See, he missed. There's the punish. So you can get a pretty good punish in off this. See, you can get a really good punish in off of this. It's a 3-hit punish. That's the key to beating Sean in this first phase, because when he misses those big structure damage moves, and if you got this pole, you can actually get a 3-hit sweep on him. And when he hits the ground, you're going to immediately follow up by punching him. Try not to do more than 3 attacks on this guy. That's why I was saying get the heavy kick strike. I forgot what it's called. But it's basically the roundhouse combo. And it's only a 3-hit combo, but every time you do it, you will drop him and you can get 2 other hits in on him. So, There's the leg sweep. You're going to see me follow it up with a punch to the face. Bop, bop. Okay. So now you're going to pull him back up and reset him. Now, you can attack him, but he's going to immediately block when you pull him back up. If you do it too much, he's going to parry. So I'm going to show you what happens when he parries. So those are just regular blocks. So see, I stopped because if I would have did it again, he would have parried me. Plus he jumped back. So when he jumps back like this, most of the time he comes in and sometimes he'll switch it up. Sometimes he'll run in and he'll do the shoulder bump, but that's a move you can easily avoid too. You just weave. This move right here, this is one of his key moves at the first phase. It's like it's a 3-hit twirl. Like he'll twirl his bow staff around 3 times, and they're very, very easy to avoid. You literally just have to practice your weaving. The key to beating this boss is like weaving. Boom, see? He missed that big attack. That last attack right there is a structure damage move. Every one of his last attacks are big moves. They're structure damage moves. If you get hit by these attacks, your structure bar is going to go up like pretty much like 60%. So you kind of want to avoid these, and that's one of the keys to beating him. Once he messes up this big structure move right here, you can punish. Boom, boom, boom. Then you're going to follow with double punches. Then attack again. See, that's the shoulder bump. You got to be careful of that, because that actually doesn't do a whole bunch of like structure damage. It only does like 10%. But if he catches you with it, it does like mess you up a little bit. So that's one of his key moves you want to try to avoid, because it's pretty easy to avoid too. At first I wasn't doing it, and it was just screwing me up because he kept doing it a bunch of times. So there goes that big swing again. You saw it? There it goes. He did a shoulder bump, and then he tried to hit me with it again. I ducked all 3 of them. Now I can get a pretty good punish in on him. There we go. And that's a sweep. Now my stick broke, so you can't use your bow staff that much. But if you want, after you sweep him like this, you do not have to follow up with a punch like I did. You can just leave him there for a second, run over, get the bow staff, and then come back and continue doing the same thing. But to me, he's so easy now in this first phase that it doesn't really bother me for real. Now that was a parry. Now when he parries you, watch this. The shoulder bump. This is going to be another 3-hit twirl. He missed again. Now you can punish again. And see, that's big damage. Now he tried to shoulder bump. When he misses that shoulder bump sometimes, like his shoulder bump, he does a couple of different things at the end of it. But the good thing about him, none of these are low attacks. So really, you can just block the shoulder, and the rest of them are going to just be regular, like high attacks. There's no low attacks in here. So you can easily avoid all of these. You just got to get the timing down. See, he missed, and then he's going to do the big upswing, which is a structure move. Avoid it. And then sometimes you got to be real quick about that, because if you don't do it right away, you saw how fast he stepped to the side, right? He did that really quick. Then he got like armor on him. So like I hit him, and he's just sitting here about to attack me through it. See, there's the big move again. You got, just remember this move right here, that 3-hit twirl, that's his Achilles heel. Like anytime he does that, it's so easy to avoid, and you can get a really good punish on him. Missed. Now I get my punish. A roundhouse. Now that's the combo that I was talking about. It's a 3-hit roundhouse, and immediately after I did it and I roundhoused them, I dropped them to the ground. Follow up with 2 punches, then you reset. He came in a shoulder bump, 3-hit swirl, counter, drop them again, punch, punch. Now I haven't really been using my focus gauge in this, but if he's giving you trouble, anytime your focus gauge fills up, use it. I use strong sweep a lot on this guy just because I love that move. That move is pretty dope. But honestly, I think the eye gouge is probably better for him, because when you poke him in the eye, he doesn't go down immediately. It just stuns him. but you can just do a regular sweep. And that, you know, if you don't know how to do that, it's up, down real fast on the analog, and it's going to be a strong attack, and you'll sweep him. He'll fall to the ground, and you can follow up with 2 punches. So it's basically 4 hits instead of just doing a strong sweep, which is the 3 hits. You get more hits in, basically. So I'll punch him twice, reset him. Now I attacked him. He parried me. Saw how he dashed back. Watch this. Okay, you see he dashed back. I moved in a little bit, so he didn't come in with the shoulder. It seems like to me is like when he dashes back like that, if I dash close to him, he won't do the shoulder bump. Or if he does the shoulder bump, he'll usually follow it up with the swirl. But from what I noticed, anytime I parried him and I dashed in a little bit, he always did like a he does this 3-hit twirl more than anything when I step in. And see, he missed. Then I just punch. Boom, boom. There it goes. Now, when he parried me that time, he did not do the 3-hit swirl. But like I said, all his moves are just high attacks. So you can just easily weave through these things. There's no lows at all. Like, there's no lows with this guy. So anytime you parachute, he's going to come in with a shoulder bump. He might step back, come in with a shoulder bump. He might actually do the 3-hit twirl, but they're just low attacks. It's like, it's super easy to avoid. And when he mixed that big structure, now this one right here is a little tricky. There's kind of like a little pause when he does this. Like I said, you just have to fight him a bunch of times to kind of get his timing down. But when he does his upward slash, if you throw your timing off wrong, he will hit you with it. So it's one of those things that you guys kind of got to fight him a little bit to kind of understand the timing of this move. With the bosses in this game, it's literally you just getting the timing right when fighting them and understanding there's certain moves that they can cheese you with. So like this guy, this first phase is actually really, really easy because it's just low attacks. It's just high attacks. There's no low attacks. And you can just easily weave through all of them. You just got to pay attention to certain things. See, I attacked him, dropped him. And he was done for in the first phase. That was that 3-hit roundhouse that I was telling you about. It's very, very strong against this guy. You can purchase this at the statue. I don't know what it's called. I can't remember. So the move that you want to try to unlock, and you can do this by farming the first stage. It's called a spinning hook kick. That's the move that you want to unlock that I just did right there. The spinning hook kick. I would recommend, like, anytime you avoid that last big swing on any of those moves, you follow it up with a spinning hook kick. And it's literally just a 3-hit combo. Like, you'll step in with a snap kick, you'll kick them low, and when your back foot touches the ground, you press the heavy attack button one more time, and you'll do a powerful roundhouse. It's really, really good against him because it knocks him on the ground like every time, and you can follow it up with 2 punches. That's more damage. So you literally saw how I just finished this guy with that. So that's the first phase. Now, the second phase, he gets a little trickier. And the reason why he gets a little trickier is because he throws a low attack in here. And it's a low attack that it's very unpredictable. Like, you don't know when he's going to do it. Sometimes he doesn't indicate when he's going to do it. He'll step back. Sometimes he can kind of indicate it, but he does different mix-ups here. So this is what was giving me the most problems when I first fought. And this is literally how he beat my ass until I was like 55. So let's go ahead and continue. I run in, you can run in and give him a little slap. Now, he will sometimes respond with a poke. He actually will do that on the other phase, but I guess because I was close to him, he didn't really do it that much. He used to do it to me a lot, but you can actually it's really easy to avoid that. You kind of don't want to take the damage from that either because it does pretty good structure damage. And if you take too many of them, your structure gauge will fill up pretty fast. So you kind of want to avoid those as much as possible. They're just regular attacks. You can just step to the side. You just weave to the side and avoid them. Now he'll come in. Now there's the down. There's the horizontal. Step back. And see, he starts throwing in mix-ups now. So remember, he used to come in with a shoulder bump, do a downward smash, a horizontal strike, and then he would do the up one right afterwards. Now he doesn't do that. He's a little trickier. So he'll come in, do a downward, do a horizontal. He might step back, and he'll try to hit you with this 3-hit twirl. Once you avoid it, that was a big heavy attack, and he missed it. So remember, punish. Spinning a hook kick, excuse me. I hit him twice. Now he parried me. He did the shoulder bump. He did a downward smash, and then he tried to hit me with a horizontal. Very easy to avoid. The thing with him doing this now is he'll do a shoulder bump, an overhead smash, and a horizontal slash. He'll do that, and then he'll step back, and he'll come in with those big swings again. And see, he missed. So now here goes another punish. The free damage right there. Snap kick. He's down on the ground once again. I'm telling you that not snap kick. He's a hook kick. That hook kick, that spinning hook kick, is one of the main keys to beating this guy. Just because it resets him. Like, it gives you some breathing room. Plus, it resets him also. It's one of the main things you got to use against this guy. I punch him twice. Pick him back up. I strong sweep. Remember, use your focus moves. Punch him again. Reset him. Now, I backed up because I had already done some damage to him. I know he was going to start guarding. So I'm not going to go in and really try to pressure him like that. I needed some space because I didn't really know what he was going to do. So I got me some distance. And when I got some distance, that's when he followed up with that shoulder bump again. He immediately did it. And see, that's what you got to watch out for. Right there. That move. Once you get him down to a certain amount of health, and it's right here, is like, I guess that would be like 65%, something like that. But when you get him down to this amount of health, he is going to start throwing in a lot of lows, and they are super freaking annoying because you do not know when they're coming. Now, what you can do, you can actually just block these. Me, I be trying to get fancy and try to weave stuff sometimes, but I can honestly just block this and wait for his next attack and probably avoid that. But I want to get good at avoiding this low sweep move, or trying to predict it at least. But it's very hard to pick up on because he just throws it out. There's no indicator that he's about to do it. He just literally does it. So he'll sweep you. Right after he sweeps you, he'll come down with a overhead smash. Avoid this move because it does damage. Just get away from him. When he sweeps you, immediately hit that R2 button and roll out of the way. If you have unlocked the ground counter, what you can do is when he sweeps you, you can ground counter him, and then you can mount him and punch him twice in the face. Ground counter is really good against this guy too. So if there's two moves that I recommend that you get, I would say that spinning hook kick and ground counter. So if he sweeps you, you can ground counter him immediately and punch him. If you don't have ground counter, just as soon as you hit the ground, you hit R2 and roll out of there. All right. I step back. Now he's rushing me again. There's the low attack again. He throws it a lot. Now he came down. He came down. There's going to be a basic 4-hit combo. And I avoided that. That's that one right there. That's where you can get your big damage in. So he'll come in and do the low sweep every now and then with this, and he'll follow it up by doing that combo again. And see, I did not attack him fast enough. So what happened is he got a moment to reset his attack, and he came down with an overhead smash. And this is actually a structure damage move. So you want to avoid this if possible, because you see your structure gauge right here is filling up. So I blocked it. He stepped back. Now he's going to run at me again. Now he tried to catch me with the poke again. I should have avoided that because see, structure's going up. Big down attack, horizontal attack, then he stepped back. He likes to do that sometimes. He'll do that big horizontal attack or a big downward attack followed by a horizontal attack. You duck both of those, watch him, because most of the time it's only a 2-hit, and he'll step back and then he'll try to come in with this 3-hit twirl again. You avoid all of that, and as soon as you avoid it, you get your attacks in. Boom, boom. Hook kick. He'll on the ground again. Now, what you probably should do is remember you gotta listen for the sound effects when you get that big counter attack in. Remember it sounds like a low bass. This is very distinct. So instead of doing what I just did, because I honestly could have got a bunch of hits in there, instead of just doing a 3-hit snap kick, 3-hit hook kick, you probably should just do a regular light combo and mix it in with some heavy combos. It won't knock him on the ground, but you'll get more damage in than I did. But he'll end up parrying you in the end, so you got to be ready once you see him block to kind of ease up a little bit. So you saw what he just did, right? So after I picked him up and he parried, he tried to catch me with this strong, like horizontal like attack. I blocked it, but then he tried to catch me with because he does the horizontal strike. Like as soon as he parries you, he does that, and then he'll try to do that poke again, and you can avoid these. They're just regular up attacks. They're not lows, so those are easy to avoid. Now you see that? Now he tried to catch you. He tried to catch me with a horizontal swipe again, and then he stepped back. And when I saw him step back, I knew what he was about to do. I knew he was gonna either come in. Most of the time he'd come in with that shoulder bump. And see, the shoulder bump actually does pretty good structure gauge damage. So what you can do in that case, whenever you see him step back, you can just block. And when you block him, he might do two things. He might do that shoulder bump and then a low sweep. And I would recommend blocking the low sweep if you're not used to it right away. But if he does that shoulder bump and you block it and you see him go into this, avoid these moves and get your punish in. Easy combo. See, now that was a hard damage. You probably heard the low base. Now I'm gonna get some attacks in. All right, so this is where he gets annoying. Now he's on fire. So when he hits the ground and he catches on fire, this is basically the game indicating that he's about to go into rage mode, which on your first time fighting him, you're probably about to go into rage mode as well. So I used my focus gauge when I picked him up because I saw him glowing and he's on fire. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to start trying to be cheap now. So I'm going to get the strong sweep in and I'm going to follow up with 2 attacks. Punch, punch. Then I back him up. Now I attacked him. He blocked me. I didn't attack him again. Now this is where he gets tricky. Low attack. High attack. You saw that? So he did the low first this time. He didn't do a shoulder bump. He did a low. He did a downward smash and a horizontal, and he stepped back. And now he's about to get real tricky. Shoulder bump. Shoulder bump. You see how he keeps doing it? He keeps backing up. He'll shoulder bump you. He'll back up. Shoulder bump again. Sometimes he'll back up and come in with that low sweep. You never know what he's doing when he's going to back up. He just does something random. There's the low attack. See, I got hit with it because I was trying to anticipate him doing something else, and he didn't do that. He just did the low sweep. I really recommend blocking this guy. Whenever he runs in and he tries to do his shoulder bump, weave that. But the second move, block it because it's unpredictable. So he swept me, and then he tried to hit me with the overhead again. I rolled back immediately. See, he keeps catching me with it. See, he gets real tricky here. When he starts glowing, you don't know what he's going to do when he runs in. So I would say when he runs in like this, if you're new to fighting him, or you just like me and you get kind of clumsy sometimes, just block. You don't even have to, you can block his lows just by holding the block button. You don't have to really avoid those. They don't do that much structure damage, but if you get hit with it, it does. And then it gives them a chance to do an overhead too if you don't immediately hit R2 and roll out of the way. Overhead. All right. So now what you'll notice me do sometime is like after you drop me, I'll get back up and I'm not guarding. When you're guarding, your structure is not returning back to normal. The only way it returns back to normal is if you're avoiding him or if you're in a neutral position just walking around. So I will literally not be guarding at first. I would just be walking around to try to get my structure gauge, which is this bar, to start draining back down. And then also when he starts running in on me, I'll go back into my guard. Shoulder bump, downward attack. Now look how much structure damage he's doing with each one of these attacks. This is why he gets really tricky. And see, I avoid the last one, so my structure goes down. And boom, right there. Because I knew after he did the shoulder bump and he did that second attack, I knew it was going to be the 4-hit combo. So I was like, all right, so it's going to be that 4-hit combo. I'll avoid the last two, get my structure to go down, also fill up my focus gauge a little bit, then get some big damage in when he misses that big swing right there. There's my punish. There's a hook kick again. He's down on the ground. See, now this gives me time. Another good thing about this move is when you knock him on the ground and you follow it up with a ground pound. You follow it up with a ground pound. You can get these 2 punches in, and while you're getting those 2 punches in, your structure bar is also depleting, so you're getting your structure back. It's a good way to get back structure if you catch him slipping. Now look at that. My structure is almost back down to normal. Now I dash back and I just start walking around. Like my structure gauge is back normal. They came in with that. He always runs in and he does like some tricky stuff. I just guard against this because I don't really know what he's going to do half of the time. So I'll guard him. Then see, he did that big attack again. Now this is tricky because he did the shoulder bump and he did the overhead. So you don't know if he's going to step back on you. So I was like, all right, when he does that, he does the overhead, I'll avoid that and I'll avoid the second one. And see, he stepped back that time. Told you, very unpredictable. Now this time, I kind of read his move because he ran in. And I was like, okay, you ran in a little too fast there. So I kind of knew that this low sweep was coming. So that's how I avoided it. I avoided it. Then he stepped back again. Now watch what he does again. Low sweep again. He will do that a lot. Like he'll jump back, come in, low sweep. Jump back, come in with low sweep. Jump back. And then he might do a shoulder bump, low sweep. Like he starts mixing up his moves a lot in this phase. And this was really gets like a lot of people. And it got me a bunch of times. Now see, watch. Now see, he stopped that time. He came in actually with the shoulder bump. He didn't rush me that time. Now watch this. Low sweep. He caught me. I was like, oh, he did the shoulder bump. So he must be about to follow it up with the 4-hit move or the 2-hit move. But see, he's unpredictable when he catches on fire. So you can't assume things with this guy. Like when you see him shoulder bump you, the second move, block it for safety. Because he might just do a leg sweep. When he does his leg sweep, it does a structure damage. Is pretty great on it. And also he can overhead attack you. So he caught me slipping because like when he came in, I thought that he was gonna do either that 2-hit combo or that 4-hit combo. But he didn't do that. He came in, he spikes himself up. Like he's getting real slick with this low sweep. And this low sweep is the problem. Because anytime you get hit with this, look at how much damage it does right here. You see this right here? It's a big chunk. It just came off my health bar right here. This is how he'll kill you right here. If you get hit with this move, it does like, I want to say like 13% damage or something like that. But it's a big, as you can see, it's a big chunk of health right here. You don't want to get hit with this move. And then if he hits you with the overhead, it's even more damage and it fills up your structure gauge. So this is a dangerous move right here. This is the main problem with Sean. This is what makes him an asshole. He tried to come in. You saw I immediately rolled out of the way and he missed that move. Now I was like, okay, he's getting on my nerves. See, he's getting on my, look at it. Every time he hits me with it, just boom. Like, shit, that's probably like 15%. I don't know. That's a lot of damage. You don't want to get hit by that though. See, now he's just pissing me off. So I'm like, okay. Now I just got smart and I was like, you know what? I can't tell what this guy's doing, so I'm just gonna block. Now when he caught me with that overhead, I avoided the last one. Got my structure bar to go back. I always avoid, like I'll let him run in Like if he does the low sweep, I'll block the first 2 hits, and then that last one I'll always avoid it to either get my structure down or to try to bait him into doing a full combo so I can get a punish in. Now see, he stepped back immediately when I saw him do that horizontal slash, and I blocked that first one. I was like, oh, this is that 3-hit horizontal slash. So I avoided the last 2. I got my structure bar down, and you watch what I do. There's that spinning hook kick again. Now that I've knocked them on the ground, I'm going to follow it up with those double punches. And just look how much structure I've gotten back off that. Like, it was all the way up here just from me avoiding that one big move and catching him with that 3-hit hook kick move that you can, I should highly suggest that you purchase, because it works well on multiple enemies too. Like when you're fighting a large group of enemies, it's really good against them too. So you can hit multiple enemies and, you know, follow them up with punches on the ground. It gets you some breathing room, which I'm having a hard time doing that right now because I keep fucking coughing, thanks to COVID. So after I reset them, I noticed I have my focus back. Use your focus on this phase. Strong sweep. I swept them. Boom, boom. Now I got all my structure back, so I'm good on like blocking and things right now. So I hit him a couple of times. He parried me. He stepped back, and then he immediately came in with this overhead right here. Now I saw it coming, so I avoided it. I avoided that one. Now that's a little weird because that's new. He does an overhead, a side swipe, then another overhead and a shoulder bump. And see, he like resets himself. So he won't just do one regular string. Like he'll mix it up and he'll add in like multiple different attacks. Like it's literally a mix up he starts doing. And when I saw him do that second one and he stepped back, I was like, okay, he stepped back. He's up to something. Shoulder bump. Now he caught me slipping. I tried to avoid it and I messed it up. Now, this is what I do. If he's getting on my nerves, I was like, look, I need to reset myself. I try not to get stuck in the corner or by poles because the camera angle will get you killed. So if I'm getting knocked in or pushed into a corner, I'll literally run away from this guy and run back to the center of the stage. Now he comes in, shoulder bump. Now he swiped down. Now you could have avoided this. Like I could have avoided that, but I didn't. I was getting a little scared here because I was just like, okay, this guy, he's catching me with stuff and I don't want to get caught with too many moves. So then like after he caught me with the down, I was like, all right, the down one means he's about to do big move. Yep. See, he stepped back and then he came in with that big horizontal twirl. And I just avoided all of that. Like when he did that last attack, I was like, okay, he's going to either step back and do a big move, or he's gonna finish that up with a upward like pole slash. So I was like, all right, I can avoid that last one. Watch what he does. When he stepped back, I was like, oh, if he stepped back, I'm a guard the first move to see what it is. Since it was this big move, he hit me at the first part of it, but then I was like, all right, just avoid the other two and I can get my big damage in. There's a punish, and boom, he's done. It's just that easy. The thing about Sean is an asshole when he catches on fire because he throws in those lows so much. He does a lot of mix-ups, so you have to be defensive on him. Like whenever he steps back and he runs in, watch that first move. I would say block that first and second move. I would say block that first and second move. The second move is a sweep a lot of the times. Sometimes it's not though. So the reason why you want to block the first two, because if it's the low sweep, then you just block that and you can avoid the last one if you throw something out. If he does if he comes in and he does that shoulder and it's not a low sweep and it's like a horizontal slash or whatever it may be, you can block that and then avoid the other one. And you know that it's not going to be a low mixed in. And he only does the low when he runs in. Immediately he'll do the low sometime. He started doing this weird ass like loop. Like he'll run in, shoulder bump you, then run in, throw a low out, back up, low, back out. and then he'll run back in. Then sometimes he'll run back in with a shoulder bump. Either way, it's just a crazy mix-up. So once he starts getting into that loop, you need to try to avoid that first attack. You can simply do that by blocking it. Block the first two, avoid the third and fourth. And then when he steps back, or if he continues with a combo, avoid the rest of it and get a big hit in. If he steps back, let him run in, take the first hit, then avoid whatever the other attacks are. If it's that big pole swing, you block the first hit, avoid the second two, and then you get your punish in. And that's really the key to beating Shine. Like, once you play him enough time, he's pretty easy to beat. But this is just some helpful tips that I can give you. When you fight a lot of these bosses, you have to fight them multiple times because practice makes perfect. And with a lot of these bosses, you don't really understand how they operate at first. So you have to actually fight them to understand their patterns. But the first phase is really easy. The second phase is where he gets annoying. Avoid the leg sweeps at all costs because they do really good damage. If he sweeps you, you can use the low ground attack to knock him on the ground, get a couple of punches in, and get your structure gauge back. Or immediately hit R2 and roll away from him because he's going to follow it up with the overhead smash. If you do not do it quick enough, you will get hit with it. Once he catches on fire, that's when he starts throwing in a lot of crazy mix-ups. So, you know, that's when you use my advice for when I was saying, like, you block the first two when he first runs in. Avoid the third. If he steps back, watch what he does. If he runs in, let him hit you with the first one to understand what move it is. And then you avoid the other two if it's the big swing or if it's the shoulder bump. Allow him to do the second one just so you can block that second move so you don't get hit by the leg sweep. And that's basically all it is to it. Remember, use that spinning hook kick whenever you get damage in on him because it's good to reset him. And also it's good to get your structure gauge back down. So, that's how you beat Sean. Bye-bye, asshole.
So I hope this guide has been very helpful for you guys. If you've been having problems with Sean the Fighter, I'm hoping that I taught you something today. And I'm hoping that you can get through this fight a little easier without getting aged up to like 60 or 50. Because I know the first time I fought this asshole, man, he beat the shit out of me. Anyway, that's going to be it for me for today, guys. If this helped you out in any kind of way, do me a favor, you know, like the video. Also subscribe to my channel. Leave a comment. I'm also going to do more boss guides, you know, tackling the movesets and strategies that I use to beat the other bosses in this game. So anyway, thank you for watching my channel. Y'all have a nice day. I hope you have a good one, and deuces.